What's up and welcome everyone. This is your girl Rawa and this is another episode of the first Rawa show where we dive into the intricacies of life, of love, and of family. If this is the kind of video that you would like to see on your feed, then you should join this family by subscribing to this channel. Click on the subscribe button on the right hand corner of your screen. All too soon, the year 2025 has come to an end. I know that this is the time of the year that we do some cleanup exercise. This is the time of the year that we look into our lives, we assess ourselves, we assess our visions, our goals, and then we set new year resolutions. Now, as we are doing all these mopping ups in our lives, we do not have to forget our relationships. There are certain relationships that we cannot take into 2026. Yes, some of these relationships that I'm going to be talking about in this video cannot cross over with us into 2026. We have to end them by the end of 2025. And so this is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. The first relationship that you have to break before 2026 is relationship with exes. Why do you still contact your ex? Why are you still calling them? Why are you still texting them? Why are you still meeting up? Have you guys not broken up? Guys, you need to make space for the new, especially if you do not want to continue with that person. You are giving them the idea that you are still interested. You are giving them the idea that there is a future that you are hoping on to, that both of you are going to come back together, or you are just holding on. But guys, if there was really a future for you, there wouldn't have been a breakup in the first place. When you break up with someone, it means that you guys have actually put in the work and you've realized that this is not going anywhere, and then you break up. So why would you still be contacting them? When you meet someone new and you are still contacting your ex, what it means is that you are not over that person. So why would you want to meet your spouse, your husband, your wife, and you are still having strings attached to the old deal? Guys, leave that old deal in 2025. Don't go into 2026 still contacting your ex, hoping that you guys are going to get back together, because if this relationship was going to work, you guys would not have broken up in the first place. Even if you are going to get back together in the future, you guys have to be actually separate, do the work individually, and then you come back together by making sure that each individual has done the work on themselves. That is the only way that you guys can come back together and it would work. If you get back together and the reason why you were separated is not dealt with, you are going to get separated again. So make sure that you break up. Yes, did I say break up? No. You stop speaking with that ex, and whether you have to delete your contact, block them, do it, guys. This is your cue to end that relationship. The next relationship that you do not have to take to 2026 is abusive or toxic relationships. Guys, this is 2026. This is the world of internet, so we can see what is happening in other relationships without being there. We've seen what has happened in even Two-Face. We've seen it all the abuse. People have died from toxic relationship and all of that, and you are still holding on to that toxic, manipulative, emotionally draining relationship. Why? Do you want your life to be over before you realize that that relationship is not for you, before you realize that that abusive person is not your husband, it's not your wife? Because I'm saying wife because there are certain women who are also abusive. Most of the time it's women who face abuse in their relationship, but men also face abuse, so we do not have to neglect them. Why are you still in that relationship? As I said, this is the video, this is your cue to break up with that person. Don't enter relationship with your life always walking on eggshells, emotionally drained. You are giving love, but you are not getting love in return. You're always afraid. You don't speak up. You are so scared of your life that even when your partner does something wrong, you are still, you cannot even voice out. That is not a relationship, and that relationship must not go with you into 2026, including being in a relationship with cheaters. I've already mentioned it on this channel that cheating is emotional abuse. If you have given your heart out to someone, to love them wholly, to be loyal to them, and they are not giving you that form of faithfulness or loyalty, it is emotional abuse. If they are flirting with people, if they don't have boundaries with the opposite gender, it is emotional abuse. So if you are in an abusive relationship, make sure that you don't take that to 2026. Cut them off. The next relationship that I want us to talk about is situationships. I don't even know why I'm calling it a relationship, because it's not a relationship. Situationship is that blurry line where you don't even know whether you are lovers with someone or you are friends with someone. They put you in that zone, the what are we zone, the uncertainty zone. You are not sure. And love is not uncertainty. When someone loves you, you would know. You will never be unsure. You will never have to ask Google at 12 midnight, does this person love me? You will not have to do that. Maybe you're in a talking stage and they have not really made their intentions known to you, but the talking stage has been on for months. It's time to ask them the question, what's going on, what do you want from me? And as well, if you are with somebody that you guys have actually planned this situationship, like they have literally told you that, hey, I don't want something serious, I just want to and and get myself going, but who knows what could come up. They are just promising you something that is not realistic, and you also do not have your self-esteem in check to the extent that you agree to their arrangement because you feel that, okay, maybe with time this person will love me and then they'll make our relationship defined. But girl, it's not coming. It will never come. If a man sees you and he wants to be in a relationship with you, he's going to go that straight. He's not going to beat about the bush. He's not going to tell you, I don't mind you being with other people, you just be available for me when I want it. You don't want that. You are too precious. You are the apple of God's eye. Don't allow anybody to put you in that zone where you don't even know what is going on and you want more, girl. If you want more, break that situationship before 2026. Yes, I'm coming for you all because I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to keep hoping and hoping that things will change, but things don't change. And so 2026 is not going to be different. I know that it's not easy. However, you should be able to look into the mirror and see that you are precious. You don't deserve this kind of relationship. Look, it's better to be single than to be in a situationship with anyone. Yes, I said it. The next kind of relationship that I know it's kind of controversial, but you need to end it before 2026. Dating married men. Yeah. I'm not judging you if you are dating a married man, but you have to put an end to that situationship or that relationship. Dating somebody else's husband is not what is designed for you. You have your own spouse. Even it's better to be single than to be dating someone else's. I know that people will say that, oh, women like to share, certain women don't mind sharing. Well, the only woman that doesn't mind sharing is the one that is the intruder. If you have a real loving husband whom you love with all your heart and who is hardworking and doing everything right, you will not like to share. So the only person that would want to share that man with you is the intruder. So any woman that says that, oh, women like to share, no, women do not like to share their men. Sometimes you may find yourself in the situation where it's only married men who are approaching you, but that does not mean that you should stoop so low. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you are beautiful, you are wonderfully made, you deserve your own husband. Why would you even want to be with somebody who has deceived you? Because I know that sometimes you may be dating someone and they will not tell you that they're married, and later on you find out that they are married and you still stick onto the relationship. You still stick, you still want to fight for it. Why would you still want to be with somebody who has deceived you? If the person deceived you, they didn't love you in the first place, so why would you still be stuck there? The next relationship that you need to gather the courage and put an end to it is any long-term dead-end relationship. If you are with somebody and they really want to get married to you, they would have done it. It doesn't take so long for someone to get to know you. And in fact, you cannot even get to know a person in totality until you are actually married to that person. And so whoever is studying you for 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, that person definitely is using you as a placeholder. They are looking for their spouse while you are just warming their bed. You are just giving them some form of benefit, and so they don't want to let you go. If you do not put an end to that relationship, it's going to continue for 10, 11, 12 years, and they are still not going to marry you. You have the power to put an end to that relationship. I know that majority of us get scared, especially when you've been with one person for so long. You have literally invested your whole life, your youth, with that one person, and so you are scared that in case you break up with them, you may not find someone else. It's better to actually be single than to be in a dead end relationship. To have devalued yourself by being with someone that they're not making plans for you. It's actually better that you guys go your separate ways. If they have not yet figured out their life, they should figure out their life. And majority of the time, by the time you go separate ways, within a few months, that person is married to somebody else. That means that you were not a problem. However, they did not want to be with you. And that's the reason why the relationship did not work and you were together for such a long time. Do yourself that favor and also free yourself from that, should I call it a bondage? I know that people date from junior high school, senior high school, in their freshman year of university and all of that, and that is what accounts for so many years of dating without getting the ring. But when you realize that this person is actually not putting their foot forward, it's best that you end it and you move forward. All right, maybe you're gonna meet someone later, who knows. So guys, this is the end of today's video. If you liked and found this video helpful, make sure you click the like button and make sure that you subscribe to this channel to join this wonderful family.